The Techno Knights present at the Roundtables. Welcome, noble guests, to another edition of At the Roundtables. On this 24th Saturday of February, we come to you live from the Knights' quarters at the castle. Turn yourselves on and tune in for a musical crusade with thy resident in Quest Techno Knight, DJ Egha. Hey guys, what is up? We are here today with DJ Egha. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us here today.
Thank you for the invite. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I have a few questions, just wanted to ask you, and so you can let our audience know a little bit more about you. When did you fall in love with the idea of becoming a DJ? Getting into this whole scene.
Wow, that's a very deep question. Mm-hmm. No, it's probably back in 1995, 1996, mm-hmm. around that time frame. I was 15, 16 years old, and electronic music was just starting to develop, and back in El Paso. So I was first exposed to the Fateless with Insomnia,
mm-hmm.
music. Then fell in love. Then I heard Paul Van Dyke for an Angel,
mm-hmm.
and then it's like, wow, this is amazing. I was blown away, and I always liked rock music, but to me this was different. Mm-hmm. It was a refreshing sound, and it's like, what is this? I need to know more about it, and I want to see what this is all about. So that's how I first, got exposed to it, and really, really fell in love with the music.
That's awesome. What musical figure, I guess, while that all is happening, that kind of shaped your passion for music?
In the very early beginnings, when I didn't know much about music,
mm-hmm.
I was looking into Paul Van Dyke, System F, Out of the Blue was like, wow, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Then, I think it got a little bit more commercial where ATV came out, and then,
mm-hmm.
those kind of cheesy tracks that, they're just very catchy,
mm-hmm.
but they were different to me. And that's sort of, keep piquing my interest to learn more about DJs and
mm-hmm.
who was playing where and who was like a big name in Europe and all that. And that's how, I started getting familiar with, the Paul Van Dyke, Oakenfold, mostly on the trance scene. It was just mostly trance. And then, of course, Armand was a big influence for me as well.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. He's a legend.
Really is. He's come along. Just an amazing guy.
Yeah, he's been around since the absolutely very beginning. So.
Yep.
Awesome. As a child, do you remember a song that stuck out most in your head as you were a kid that you grew up listening to that you couldn't get enough of?
It's obviously not electronic, but
sure.
Very first memories, I think it was back when my father used to have this, Techniques turntable, and he would pull like the Michael Jackson record on it. Mm-hmm. And I could spend just hours listening to that album and
mm-hmm.
Flipping the record, playing it again. It was just amazing for me to hear that kind of music. And, I was just a kid. I was probably, 5, 6 years old.
That's awesome.
But it was just, the thing of putting a record, putting a needle, listening to it, and it was just captivating for me.
For sure, it was a process. You had to go into this very hands-on.
Correct.
Absolutely. So the touch and feel of the entire thing. That's amazing. Where do you plan to take your music? And you say in the next 2-3 years, where do you see yourself going as a musician, as an artist, as a DJ?
I've been very lucky to DJ in a lot of places and open for a lot of really good DJs. Like we said, Armand,
mm-hmm.
Oakenfold. It's I've opened for a lot of really good DJs that are now top of the world, but that allowed me to make some really good friendships with them,
mm-hmm.
connections, and what I want to shift now, instead of just focusing on playing, I really gonna go towards producing my own sounds, my own kind of music.
Okay.
And I think I can start working towards that, and hopefully this year I can come up with something and get the guidance from those good connections that I have. Say, you know what, this is how we make it. This is how the process works.
And that's beautiful, because essentially it's all about networking and who you know and the relationships you build with the people you meet along the way.
Correct.
So that's beautiful. How did it feel? Let me ask, like, opening up for those kind of people. What did you feel from the inside out?
You know, back then, they weren't like Armin was opening for Oakenfold, so he wasn't even the main act. I was opening for Armin. So to me, just to hang out when those guys were not, on top of their game, and just have a good time in the DJ booth, talk and really build a connection. It showed me how humble they really are and what their passion is for music. It was one of those things that I don't think I can ever put any words to it or replace it with, because it was just such a honor for me now that having access to these people and learning from them, that really made me who I am today. It is just, I mean, the knowledge you gain from them, it's invaluable to me.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And it had to have been cool to just be like one of the guys. You felt like just one of the guys. It wasn't like they're these special people, or that they, put themselves in a different category. You were just one of the guys. So
they didn't have the diva status yet.
Exactly. That's cool. That's very special. So for kids growing up, people that are wanting to get into DJing, even if they're later in their life, what kind of advice do you have people that just want to get into what you're doing right now?
I think it's persistence. The most important thing for me is if you really love music and it's something that just draws you to it, just never stop. And I'm telling you this because when I first, put my very first equipment, crappy Gemini players that, I was 18 years old, $150. I couldn't afford anything else.
For sure.
And everybody's like, this is not your thing. Don't do it. You're wasting your time. It's like, no, this is what I love. I'm going to keep doing it. Then you upgrade equipment, but you keep trying. That allowed me to, like I said, get inside the clubs, start traveling. I was lucky enough to play internationally. I was very lucky to open for these big DJs, and everything came down to just never stop. And you're gonna crash, you're gonna burn, you're gonna cry. It's just the persistence to it, because when I started mixing, nobody taught me. I had to learn myself how to do it. So you can imagine the very first mixes were horrible, terrible. But it was like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep learning. And I think what you guys are doing right here collectively, it's something that we need to expand in San Antonio, where you might be perfect in one area that I don't dominate, but I'm really good at another one. So if we start collaborating, I can learn from you, and I can learn different sounds that I've never been exposed to, and maybe you can learn a little bit from me. And I think this is where we have to take the scene in San Antonio, because in the last 20 years that I've been here, I've seen nothing but competition and just DJs up against each other, and that's not what's all about. I think we need to collaborate more and really exchange ideas, sounds, work together towards a community of electronic music.
I agree. We all have a superpower, right? Every one of us has something that we can do specifically that adds value to a team. And again, as a team, we can go super, super far. Individually, we could go places fast, but as a team, we could take this scene, we can take this beautiful music that we all love and hold a passion for, and we could really, really reach a lot of people. So I could not agree with you more. It's all about creating a family. It's all about creating a team, and that synergy between more than just a few people can really go very far. Yeah,
and we all have our different likes and tastes of music, and I think when we combine it, that's what makes it special, because I can have a background in trance music, but I know nothing about techno. You start teaching me that, and I'm exposed to different elements, different sounds, and I can get more creative.
Absolutely.
And I think that's just the way that, for me as a DJ, I don't fit in just one category. I try to explore and, take a little bit from this, music or style elements, put it over here, see how it works. It's just, trial and error.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate the time to answer all these questions, and appreciate you having you here, and thank you guys. DJ Egha, everybody.
Thank you guys for having me here. It's been a pleasure, and looking forward to have a great set with you guys, and hopefully you like the music.
Thank you, Obutace listeners of sound, for tuning into at The Roundtables. The Techno Knights hope you've enjoyed the show. Prithee be sure to check us out at www.tharoundtables.com and follow us on facebook.com/ThaRoundtables, twitter.com/ThaRoundtables, mixcloud.com/ThaRoundtables, soundcloud.com/ThaRoundtables.